Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. We are in the Fuzzy Biker garage today. Take a look at this hot rod. I got this last Wednesday, today's Saturday. Put about 250 miles on it already. Isn't that beautiful? Moto Guzzi V7iii. Look at that, I call that marinara red. They call it stone red, I think, but it's a matte red. Absolutely gorgeous machine. Very, shaft drive, 744cc, air cooled. Check it out. 6-speed transmission. It's really a beauty. It's really a beauty. A thing of passion, I would say. It was definitely a passion buy, I'll tell you that. Very loud pipes. You'll hear that in the video most likely. I traded my Triumph off for this hot rod. I had a beautiful, and I mean absolutely beautiful, Triumph T100, white and red. And it was just a gorgeous machine, and I let her go for this. And I don't think I'm going to regret that. I love that motorcycle. It was probably the best motorcycle I'd ever owned, but I think I'm going to like this one just as much, maybe even more. Not sure. This was really a purchase of passion, I would say. One is I'm hooked on red. Two, it's an exotic Italian motorcycle, hand-built in Italy at the base of a mountain, at the shores of a lake. Did I fall for the hype? I think I might have. It's a gorgeous machine. So does this thing do anything better than my Triumph did? And the answer is really not much. My Triumph was a far better motorcycle all the way around. I think the Triumph did a lot of things pretty darn well that this thing does ordinary. But I think this thing does a couple things extraordinary in extraordinary fashion. And we'll talk more about that as time goes by. I'm going to do several videos on this. This is a motorcycle that fulfills about 95% of my passion needs and probably 5% of my actual motorcycling needs. So why would I buy it? The answer is, well, I've got these other motorcycles plus another one. This motorcycle, for instance, fulfills 95% of all my needs. This is my Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. This bike is a great town bike. It's a great road bike. I can go coast to coast on this. I've done a lot of 450-mile rides on this already, and it does it well. And we're going to do a lot of 700-mile rides on this thing too. Of course, there's my dirt bike. That's my grocery getter, my Zenfield Classic. I call that my town bike. This is going to be my go out and have a good time, rip roar. I just love the way it looks. I'm just enthralled, Like I said, it's got this weird V-twin. See the cylinder on that side? Cylinder on that side. Makes about 52 horsepower, about 44 foot-pounds of torque. That's about 60 Newton meters. Anyway, it's a real hot rod. Today we're going to run down to Missouri. I have a 100-mile ride. I'm going to make that into a 150-mile ride by going the long way. I'll do the 100 miles on the way back. And then tomorrow I've got a couple 100 miles planned. So 250 already. By the end of tomorrow I'll have another 450. Life is good. Let's get riding. Wahoo! Howdy y'all. Made our way all the way down to Missouri. The old meatball here runs great. Loads of fun. Smooths out over 70, 75. It starts to really get on its own. The one we want to really look at though is this hot rod here. Check this out. Nice old Vincent, 51 Vincent. Old Everett's been getting that thing all shiny and working right. And that's one we took for a ride a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. This is his Himalayan. It's got the big bore kit and a cam and a header. A pipe, and one of them magic computer boxes. Of course, he's got all kinds of other goodies added to it. We're going to take these down on a trip to Martin View, Arkansas here soon. Crash guards. No, new chain. Check that out. Anyway, nifty day. Beautiful sunny day. Beautiful sunny day for a ride. Life is good. Wahoo! Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker back here at the Fuzzy Biker garage. It is Sunday. Yesterday we put about 250 miles or so on this hot rod, this wonderful motorcycle. Just about got 500 miles on it, and I've had it since Wednesday. We're going to do at least 200 today and probably 200 again on Tuesday. So in a week I'll have close to 1,000 miles on it. But I said earlier, it does some things really well. It does some things really poorly. And it does a lot of things just ordinary. I think this is a bike that, the word euphemism, I think is how you pronounce it. This is a bike that is both a euphemism and an anti-euphemism all wrapped up in one. We use words like retro or classic or not overpowered, character, passion, heart, feel, personality to describe motorcycles that are, I don't want to say lacking, but maybe not as modern or not as powerful or not as good handling as some things. And this bike kind of fits in that role. This bike does not have a powerful engine. It's 52 horsepower. It has a very beautiful engine. Check that out. I love the way it looks. It has 44 foot-pounds of torque. That's about 60 Newton meters. But the engine itself is not particularly smooth and taking the higher RPMs. The transmission itself, a 6-speed, works pretty darn well overall, particularly when ridden with passion. There's one of those euphemisms. The suspension, I would say, is probably one of the worst and best parts of this motorcycle. It works pretty good below 45 miles an hour. Works really well around town. It handles pretty darn good around town, but between 45 and 65, that's kind of its weak spot. It's kind of a rough ride at those speeds. It doesn't do anything particularly wonderful. It's very sensitive to the lines in the road. Of course, that could be the tires. But you get over 65, every mile you go over 65, the bike seems to handle a lot better in the same run. The motor runs better, the suspension works better. You know, it just seems to do those kind of things really well. The brakes, which are Brembo's, 320 millimeter disc on the front. Look at that. Anti-lock brake, of course. The brakes work really darn well. I wonder if the back one's a Brembo. The back is a 260 millimeter. I don't see any branding on it. They work pretty darn good, I think. I don't think they're stellar. I think they are good. I think they are very good modern brakes. How's that? One of my big complaints of this motorcycle are the pipes. Now, these are aftermarket pipes. I don't know what brand they are. I've looked at them. I can't find any marking. They don't have any baffles in them. And this thing is so loud it would make a Harley rider complain. I mean, it just really screams. It just screams. And I'm going to get a hold of Dylan at Throttle Company. Check out the shirt. Columbus, Ohio. They sell Moto Guzzis. And I'm going to ask them what I can do with those kind of things. I also need to talk to them about air filter and oil filter and things like that that go on with this motorcycle. If you guys are interested in a Moto Guzzi, go to Throttle Company in Columbus, Ohio, or go to throttlecompany.com, or go to their Facebook page, Throttle Company, or YouTube channel. They got a really good YouTube channel. And check those guys out. Other complaints I have about this motorcycle: no wind protection at all. This is a very, I don't know if it does any good at all. It makes me feel better, maybe. I wish I had something bigger. On the other hand, that would ruin the look, I suppose. And then the lack of luggage. There's just nowhere to put anything. I put a net on this the other day, and I didn't like the way it hooked to the bike. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I think maybe I'll just wear a backpack when I ride this bike. I'm not going to ride it all the time, so one of those things, I guess. Something I want to point out, though, that I really do like are like the mirrors. These mirrors, they're awesome. I love the shape. This is the part you see the most out of. They got a great big stripe here. They're elongated oval. You see a little bit of your shoulder here, but you know, the part of the mirror that you use is very large. And even though the bike does vibrate quite a bit, the mirrors don't vibrate as much. They do vibrate. The next thing would be the seat. I think it's a very comfortable seat. I don't know if this is a standard seat. It says Moto Guzzi Comfort Gel on it. Another thing I really like about this bike, 5.5 gallon tank. I think that's 21 liters, over 5.5 gallons. It's just a phenomenal amount of fuel. So I was rolling along yesterday. The day before I got 55 miles a gallon. Now yesterday I was rolling along and I got about 40 miles a gallon. So quite a difference, but there was a reason for that, and it was expected. I expected to get quite a bit less on my fuel mileage yesterday. And that all goes back to the passion of this bike. I was out in the middle of nowhere, and this thing would it loves the higher RPMs. It loves the high gears. It loves it loves the open road. Let me just say that. It's just a beautiful thing. These Pirelli tires, Sport Demon, a lot of guys have complained about them online, and I would just have to say that I find them to be good tires. I really enjoy them, and I do like that rim. Isn't that cool? So today's plan, I'm going to try to put a couple hundred miles on this again today. Tomorrow I'm going to be taking the dirt bike out over yonder. And then Tuesday I'll probably take this hot rod out again. And then Wednesday we're going to have snow. So that's the... If you guys are interested in a new or used Royal Enfield Triumph classic British bike of any type, get yourself over to Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa. Or go to baxtercycle.com. Make sure you tell those guys Fuzzy Biker sent you. If you're interested in a Moto Guzzi like this, go to Throttle Company, Columbus, Ohio. All right, my friends, it's a beautiful day, and I'm going to go ride. Wahoo!